A lion doesn't announce its power. It just walks, and the jungle parts in silence. That's leadership. That's dominance. That's presence. Because real strength doesn't make noise. It moves in silence. It doesn't need to be seen. It's simply felt. And when that energy enters the jungle, everything changes. Chapter 1: The Quiet King. The lion does not need to speak to be respected. It does not need to prove its strength. It does not need to shout to be feared. Its presence alone commands the jungle. When the lion walks, everything watches. When the lion moves, the world makes way. Not because it forces them to, but because nature knows. The lion's dominance is not born from noise. It is born from energy, from certainty, from silent power. This is leadership. This is command. The lion doesn't follow trends. It sets direction. It doesn't react. It decides. You were not born to beg. You were not built to blend in. You were made to lead, not with your voice, but with your presence. The weak seek approval. The lion seeks purpose. When you move with intention, you no longer need permission. The world begins to respond, because leadership isn't given, it's felt. Chapter 2: Presence over Power. The lion is not the largest in the jungle. It is not the most dangerous, yet it rules. Because true power does not come from what you have. It comes from who you are. Presence is energy that cannot be faked. It comes from belief, from stillness, from mastery of self. The lion does not rush. It does not chase chaos. It walks slow, certain, unmoved. That is presence. That is control. Your presence is built when you know your worth, when you stop chasing validation, when you no longer need to be seen to know that you matter. The lion's leadership is calm, but beneath that calm is power, waiting to be released. The lion does not need to prove dominance. It simply exists as dominance. And you must learn the same truth. You don't have to fight to show strength. You don't have to argue to prove value. You don't have to shout to be heard. When you master presence, the world listens before you speak.
Chapter 3. The Art of Command. Leadership is not given to the loudest voice. It belongs to the clearest mind. The lion does not lead the pride with fear. It leads with order, with awareness, with quiet certainty. Every move it makes serves purpose. Every step sets rhythm. Every decision shapes balance. The lion knows if it loses control of itself, it loses control of everything it leads. That is why leadership begins inside. You cannot lead others if you cannot lead your own thoughts. You cannot direct your pride if you are lost within yourself. The lion's authority comes from discipline, from patience, from presence. And leadership, true leadership, is not about forcing others to follow. It's about inspiring them to rise. You don't demand respect. You embody it. You don't take control. You become control. The lion leads not because it wants to, but because it must, because order depends on it, because destiny calls for it.
Chapter 4. The Balance of Mercy and Power. Every true leader carries a dual nature, mercy and might, compassion and command, patience and precision. The lion could destroy everything it sees, yet it chooses not to. It saves its strength for what matters. That is the mark of mastery. Control of power is greater than the use of power. The insecure seek to prove they are strong. The wise know they do not need to. A lion's restraint is not weakness. It is dominance in disguise. When you learn to hold back when others react, you gain control. When you stay calm in chaos, you rise above it. When you use your strength with purpose, you become unshakable. Leadership is not about domination. It's about direction. Not about fear, but about focus. The lion could roar at everything, but it only roars when it must, because when it does, the jungle remembers. Chapter 5. The Burden of the Crown. Every crown comes with weight. Every throne demands cost. The lion may rule, but it also carries the weight of protection, the weight of decision, the weight of consequence. Leadership is not luxury, it is responsibility. To lead is to carry others. To lead is to endure storms silently. To walk alone when others sleep. The lion does not complain. It does not seek pity. It bears the burden with strength. And that is the truth about greatness. It is heavy. It is lonely. It is demanding. But it is worth it. Because leadership is not about being served. It's about serving with strength. It's about standing when others fall. It's about holding the line when others break. The lion does not seek comfort. It seeks clarity. It seeks order. It seeks purpose. And in that purpose, it finds peace. Chapter 6: The Law of the Jungle. The jungle follows one law. Respect is earned, not given. Every creature knows its place, not by fear, but by truth. The lion's dominance is natural, not forced, not faked. It is the result of consistency. It shows up. It endures, it commands, and that's how respect is built. People do not follow titles, they follow trust, they follow strength, they follow vision. If you want to lead, you must first live by the law. Be disciplined, be decisive, be dependable. You cannot lead others through chaos if you are chaos. You cannot build order through weakness. You cannot rule if you are ruled by fear. The lion understands this balance. That's why it remains unchallenged. That's why its rule is respected. That's why its dominance is absolute. Chapter 7: Legacy of the Lion. The lion does not chase approval, it chases legacy. Long after it's gone, the echoes of its roar still fill the jungle. Its presence still remembered, its dominance still honored. True leaders do not live for today, they build for tomorrow. You are not here to impress, you are here to impact. You are not here to blend, you are here to blaze a trail. The spirit of the lion is eternal. It leads through action. It inspires through endurance. It commands through character. So lead, not because you want control, but because you are called to guide. Lead with courage. Lead with calm. Lead with conviction. Be the lion among the sheep. Be the leader in the noise. Be the light in the dark. Because leadership is not about being followed. It's about showing others how to rise. And when your time comes, when your roar fades, what you've built will remain. That is legacy. That is dominance. That is the way of the lion.